Today, we're going to talk about something that quietly decides who breaks through and who just burns out, and that's momentum. Let's dive right in.
Let that sink in for a second. We're so often taught that failure is about not having enough skill, right? Or maybe a bad strategy. But what if the biggest factor isn't talent at all? What if it's just timing? What if the real story of failure is simply stopping, maybe moments before everything was about to click?
Okay, so if just not stopping is the secret, why is it so dang hard to do, you know? Why do we see so many smart, driven people get right to the edge of a breakthrough and then just quit? Well, the answer isn't that you're weak or that you lack willpower. It's actually a lot simpler. It's about a basic misunderstanding of physics.
All right, let's start with a little reality check, shall we? Anytime you're building something that actually matters, whether it's your career, a new business, or even just learning a new skill, you're going to hit this point where it feels like you're pushing against an invisible wall. You know that feeling? It's that stretch where you're putting in all the effort, but the results just haven't shown up yet.
Sound familiar? I bet it does, because this is the exact spot where most people give up. You're pouring all this energy in day after day, but the world is just silent. There's no feedback. Now here's the thing you have to remember. That silence isn't a sign that you're doing it wrong. It's actually a sign that you're finally deep enough in for the magic of compounding to start kicking in.
So to get through that wall, you can't just rely on motivation. It's not enough. You need something way more solid, something you can count on. It's about shifting from relying on a feeling to building a force. Let's talk about how to build that engine. And this is the absolute key difference. Look, motivation, that's an emotion. It's that high you get from a great meeting or an inspiring talk. It's powerful for sure, but man, it fades fast. Momentum, on the other hand, is mechanical. It's a force. It's the simple act of showing up, especially on the days you really don't want to. It's reliable, it's predictable, and best of all, it builds on itself. And this is how you unlock it. You don't have to believe with 100% certainty that the whole grand plan is going to work out. You just have to believe in the very next step. That's it. Just the next one. That's how you build a real force that will literally carry you forward way after that initial spark of inspiration is gone.
So how does this engine actually work in practice? Well, the best way to think about it comes from something you probably learned in high school: basic physics. And it perfectly explains why being consistent day in and day out will always be these short, intense sprints.
Think about it. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Our progress works the exact same way. It builds up force as long as we keep moving in the same direction. But here's the catch. Every single time we stop, we're not just taking a break, we're hitting the reset button. You're basically creating this momentum debt that you have to pay off later.
And this is so important. Getting started is hard, we all know that. But restarting is so much harder. The amount of energy it takes to get going again from a dead stop is massive. It's way more than it takes to just keep inching forward, even on your worst day. Every time you stop, you're just making the whole journey harder on yourself.
And here's the good news. This should be a huge relief. Momentum doesn't care about perfection. It couldn't care less if today's work was your best work. All it asks is that you take a step, any step, because one messy, imperfect step forward is 1,000,000 times more powerful than standing perfectly still waiting for the right time.
Okay, so enough with the theory. How do we actually put this to work right now? Let's make this real. This is your coaching moment. This is where the work really starts.
So, I want you to think for a second and be really honest with yourself. What's that one thing right now where you are so tempted to stop? You know what I'm talking about. That project that stalled out, that new skill you're trying to learn? Were you feeling that resistance, that voice telling you to just let it go?
Okay, whatever that thing is, listen up. Your job today is not to finish it. It's not to solve the whole thing. Your only job is to take one more step. That's it. One more call, one more draft, just one more try. It's not about being a hero. It's about doing the small, boring, consistent thing that momentum needs to survive. Because these are the quiet moments where big breakthroughs are actually built.
Now, look, building this for yourself is a game changer. It really is. But the real magic, the true leadership, happens when your momentum starts to spill over, when it creates a ripple that lifts up everyone on your team.
Because when you show up consistently, you're not just getting stuff done. You're actually changing who you are.
You stop being someone who wants to do something, and you become someone who does things. And trust me, that shift is noticeable. People see it. Your team feels it. Your consistency gives them permission to be consistent too. And that's how you build a culture where nobody quits.
At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Growth isn't just about how far you go. It's about how many people you take with you on that journey. Your personal drive becomes truly powerful when it fuels the growth of your entire team.
So as you go out there and build your momentum, ask yourself this one simple question: who are you enabling today?